Well, ladies and gentlemen, today I failed you at the Call Me Eddy podcast. Looks like we didn't upload for, well, let's be honest, quite a while now. A lot's happened in that time. And with that said, an apology in the most YouTuber sense possible. Hi guys, sorry it's been a long time since I haven't been uploaded. It's just been really stressful, There's just a whole bunch of work I've got to do, and then I've also had to do a whole bunch of house chores. My parents aren't even home, and it just really gets hard out there, Also, my depression kind of kicked in. The anxiety was just there the entire time. I'm so sorry, guys, but you know what? Don't worry about it. We're going to go back to our routine scheduled uploads. I swear to God, I'm not going to apologize for being late, especially in that lame way. So, it. Roll it. You know what, guys? There's a lot in this world that me off. There's a lot of things in this world that I shouldn't really do ever. There's a lot of things in this world that I refuse to enjoy. And ladies and gentlemen, that's today's topic. Guys, there are 50 states in America, and it's U.S. territorial zones. But out of all the 50 states, there's only one that I have an opinion on so strongly. There's only one that I have an opinion on that just needs to be said out loud and proud, all right? Whether it's the stereotype of every single New Englander, or perhaps maybe the college student that has nowhere else to go and finally got accepted into a third-rate college and said, F it, this is my future now. Today's episode, I'd like to talk about that effervescent mole of a terrible state that we in the United States call somewhat home. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to talk about Florida. First things first, the state of Florida. And I do mean wholeheartedly the entire state of Florida. Whether it was hit by a whole bunch of hurricanes, first owned by the Spaniards, or some voodoo Santeria magic that has cursed the land forever to be in marshes and eventually drown itself into the Atlantic Ocean, Florida, all right? I have my reasons to say Florida, but let's be honest, the only reason to say Florida is the ones that I'm going to currently say, all right? Reason number one, it's humid as and I don't mean the kind of humidity that we get up here up north. Don't get me wrong. Connecticut has its fair share of humid days and it's terrible weather from time to time during the winter. But Florida, that's a special type of all right? It's not the kind of humidity that you get where it's like, my hair is just so frizzy today. It's so unbearably hot. It's like, it's only 88 degrees, but it feels like 95. No. Florida is the kind of humidity you get when you haven't showered in about 3 days, and that space between your underwear and your own self balls over there just heats up and the condensation keeps on rolling. You might be thinking to yourself, Edison, that's kind of disgusting. Why on earth would you say that? Well, you know what? Because that's what Florida is. Phallic in nature, it is completely in a zone where it's not only hot, but also humid due to the amount of water surrounding it and the swamp and marshlands that go around there. Not to say anything wrong about the Everglades. It's beautiful. It's natural. It's peaceful. You got human rhino-sized mermaids chilling in the water that might swim up and might attack you one day. Who knows? Save the manatees, people. But regardless of saving the manatees, the humidity, all right? The insects that swarm around that humidity, and whoever says, it's a beautiful day in Florida. No. Let's be honest right here, all right? Florida may be surrounded by the Atlantic Ocean and the Gulf of Mexico, but that does not make up the entire state of Florida. Nay, what makes up the entire state of Florida is a whole bunch of swampland that we decided to fill in with a whole bunch of land and dirt to say, you know what? It. We're putting a Caesar's Pizza right here next to a dentist's office, and you know what? We're going to also attract the best people to come through here. And we know Florida sends their best. That leads me to my second point. The Florida man. All right. Now, stupid in nature and yet dumbfounded by the entire United States of America, Florida has been infamously associated with probably the most heinous acts of human attrition that we can possibly imagine. Literally, there was a dude who ate some guy's face off because he was high on bath salts, all right? A couple of questions to start off. Number one, how do you smoke bath salts? And then number two, Why'd you eat his face? Does bath salts make you like a zombie? Does bath salt make you brain dead and say, I want to eat human flesh? At one point or another, we have to finally subside that maybe it's not just the bath salts, but for God's sure, there's something in the water that Florida doesn't really like. Now, I've done my research, and apparently there's a fun little game that we like to play, and it's called Florida Man. What's yours? If we were to go on to Google and search your birthday associated with Florida Man, or Florida Woman if you really want to have that little touche added to it, you will end up with an article that reads of a man who stole his truck from his ex-wife, I do believe, rode it down the highway, and eventually crashed into a ravine while being chased by the cops. There is no reason for Florida to exist, only for the entertainment of many others and the pure fear of the locals that live there of Florida Man. I really do wonder how, in our lifetime, that Bigfoot has yet to be discovered and seen, yet for some odd reason, the phenomenon of Florida Man still exists till this day. You would think this is an urban legend. You would think this is a myth. You may think this is completely fabricated, but dear Lord Almighty, there is nothing more dangerous out there than Florida Man. Be on your guard. Finally, reason number 3, I hate Florida. And this is probably the reason that sums it all up, whether you like it or not, is it is the most New England thing to do. Now, let's just take a second and let's understand why Florida has a little bit of a soft spot in it. I'm not entirely cruel to Florida, but there's a reason why people are moving in their 60s, if not early 20s, down to Florida, all right? It's not because it's just the beaches and the sun and the constant weather, and it's summer every day down there. No, all right? Let's be honest. Brass tacks, Florida has zero income tax. That's right, zero income tax. Where you might be watching, I don't know where, but from where I'm standing in Connecticut, we have state tax, we have local taxes, we have car taxes, and we even have taxes on a plastic bag. Figure that one out. Florida, on the other hand, is a paradise where these taxes do not exist simply because we all know where the money is coming from. Cocaine, hookers, and blow. Yes, I said it because that's all the economy thrives on. Cocaine, hookers, and blow. Granted, to all the families and all the workers that actually live a normal life down in Florida, there is the benefit. There is the benefits of having no income tax down there. There is the benefit of retiring down there, so that way Uncle Sam doesn't get any more money from your hard-earned pocket. Respect to Florida. Respect to Florida for having the proper infrastructure and tax structure to allow business to grow. But if it ain't the most New England thing to do, oh my God, I went to Florida this summer. It was great. We might move down there. Of course you liked Florida and you're going to move down there. We're going to retire in Florida. It's the only way to go. It's the place to be. We have low income taxes down there. Of course, I understand that. The point I'm trying to make is that if you live in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Vermont, and even Maine, and you decide to move to Florida, congratulations, you are migrating like every other person within the New England area. New Yorkers, they come and go as they please over down there, all right? And New Jersey, well, that's for another rant another day. But Florida is the home where all rejected Valley kids and New Englanders go to either die or live while they have no clue what to do with the low amount of money and income that they make down there. Now, I have my hard set statements and facts on Florida. I have my opinions, and you know what? I'll be damned if anyone tells me otherwise. But you know what? I'm not afraid to share my opinions on Florida, regardless of the blowback. Yeah, that's the right word. So, I'm on Instagram, shameless plug, and I go ahead and post to my story the things that make me laugh, the things that I find funny, and more importantly, the things that constantly tell me this is the truth and y'all should listen. Now, if you haven't been privy to what's happening in Wall Street, currently, the move since virus has been to simply take your offices from New York and its ever-rising taxes and move it down to Florida, where there are no taxes and you can still work remotely. Now, the good news is that, you know what? It's good for business. We got new jobs coming down to Florida. That a boy. Let's do it, all right? On the other hand, there has never been more of a poignant quote to be said on Business Week headlines than this. The main problem with moving to Florida is that you have to live in Florida. Wall Street A-lister fled to Florida. Now many want to return to New York City. New York City is its own problem, but I'll be damned if Florida is going to be second fiddle to New York's problems, all right? Whether we like it or not, it's the truth. Florida is just this humid cesspool of America's garbage that have accumulated onto an island along with all the mosquitoes and run rampant in the streets. And with that said, I got a couple of responses back. One of my friends responded back, Lamau, honestly, couldn't agree more. Florida, ... Sometimes, haha. The person who did respond to me has been living down there for the past 4 years already. And you know what? They do have a point. People in Florida don't even like living in Florida. Sometimes, though. Another friend, Lamau. And you see, that's 2 Lamaus right there, all right? I'll take that as a full agreement. Florida. Oh, here's one good friend of mine. Wrong. Listen, man. The only thing that's wrong is not the assertion of your point, but rather perhaps your opinion. You're not wrong in thinking Florida. You're wrong in thinking that Florida is salvageable, that Florida can be saved, and more importantly, that Florida is enjoyable. Let's be honest. If you're not high rolling it in Miami, are you really living that Florida life? Doubt. There comes a time where truer words can be spoken in the least amount of time. And with just one word, my entire argument of hashtag Florida has been dispelled from me and ruined. And you know what? That guy's wrong. I don't care. I'm like, come on, get the out of here. Wrong, because Florida. No. Florida. Hashtag Florida. Keep that going, all right? You, sir, are the wrong one. In my crusade of Florida, there is only one thing that halts me, and that's this person's post. I feel their pain. Day drinking at the beach around big booty girls gets redundant after a while. Giggity. Okay. This might be the only silver bullet to my entire argument. And if that may be the silver bullet to my entire argument, then I perhaps would like to just say one thing and one thing only. You can look, but you can't touch. Ah, yes. Florida. Cesspool of the United States, of America, and, of course, the home of Disneyland or Disney World. Doesn't matter. Whether you guys like it or not, whether you guys want to move to Florida, whether you guys even want to accept that, hey, that's probably the best place to retire, I'd like to just to take this tidbit over here, all right? It's humid, and I don't like humidity. Humidity sucks. You're not going to have a good time. And even if you do like the humidity, good for you, you're a weirdo. Big booty beaches while day drinking is a great way to spend your life. I wish I was day drinking on the beach, looking at big booty beaches. But that's not my life. And even though I wish it was, I have a job to do. If there's anything I remember, it's the storm that hit Louisiana all the way back in 2004. And at that point, I really wondered, why didn't it just go and veer off to the right and destroy Florida along with it? Why? Because maybe humans were made to suffer. Not by physical acts of nature, but in fact, character assassinations. Go to Florida. Live your best life in Florida. Let me know what it's like down there, because I'll tell you right now, I ain't getting on a plane for Florida for absolutely nothing. Except for my sister. That about ends it for my rant. I'm gonna be quite honest with you guys. Not a big, strong video to come back here. You know, we're looking for something big and a big kahuna and just like knock it out of the park. Nah. You waited in anticipation and you were veering off the deep edge of this video, but you know what? The message is very clear and very simple. The state of Florida, and I'll see you guys in another 2 weeks.